I am the girl gardener and this is my cottage garden. I don't live in a cottage, it's just a cottage garden and it's 6 years in the making. There's quite a lot to do. I'm trying to use my handheld gimbal-y thing. There's quite a lot to do now that the autumn has kicked in. I did want to mow the lawn on the weekend, but we just had a lot going on the weekend, so I didn't get a chance to, and now the grass is too wet. But I need to be clearing away things. I need to clear away all of the cucumber plants in the polytunnel. I need to start picking the rest of the chilies because we're getting colder nights now. And I also need to clear away all behind you, all of the pumpkin, squash, that sort of thing. But I need to compost all of it. So I want to sort out my compost situation first. So this is the usual composting area that's right here at the back of my garden. And I have... Why are you beeping? Okay, so behind me here is the area that I usually use for composting. I have 3 compost bins at the back of the garden. Do you know what? This is my usual composting area at the back of my garden. I've got 3 compost bins here. So one was already here when we bought the house, and then the other 2 I purchased for £5 each from Facebook Marketplace. And they do great, but I notice when I start with this one, and then once things have broken down, I transfer things over to the next one, and then once that's broken down, this is the last one. But I find that once we get to the last one, there's still a little bit that hasn't fully broken down. So I added another compost bin, and I purchased this one from Facebook Marketplace. Nothing wrong with it at all, except for there is like a tiny kind of hole somewhere, like at the back there, which honestly is not a big deal at all. And I purchased it for £3 from the lady who was selling it, so I'm going to add that to my so say compost collection. So that's that one there, and I do like this one. It's slightly slimmer and taller, which means it just takes up a little bit less space. And when I bought the compost bin, I sort of just kept it here towards the back of the garden just for the sake of keeping it out of the way. But then I moved it once I tidied all of this section here. I moved it to where it's sitting now. I moved it here just for the sake of keeping it somewhere. But looking at it now, I'm thinking that maybe this space will actually be really good to put my 4 compost bins. Of course, the 3 at the back of the garden, including this one. You know, I could just have them in a line, 1, 2, 3, 4. I might have to move that crate just to fit a 4th one in, but I'm thinking this would be quite nice because they're just all in a row and it would make things easier. There's a lot more space here to stand when it comes to sort of turning things, you know, accessing the compost, whereas at the back of the garden, of course, it's a very small, very small space. There's not a lot of area for me to kind of move around, so I'm thinking I'll do that now. I figured out what the beeping sound was. It was my sort of gimbal stand that I use. It was trying to track my face and every time I turned away from the camera it was no longer able to track me, and so it was beeping. So after this clip I just stopped using that and I went to my standard tripod. I will make sure that I only use that particular one when I'm going to be facing the camera permanently. So sorry about that, but yeah, I learned something new about my tripod today. I try to reuse and recycle as much as I can back into the garden. All of the weeds that I've just pulled will be added straight back into the compost bins once they've been added into the final places, and all of these sticks and twigs that will take way too long to break down, I'll keep them to the side and use them when I have a garden fire as burning material. This grid-like type thing, I'm not quite sure what it's called, was part of a dog cage, I think, that was in my next door neighbour's garden. And when my current neighbours moved in, they took it apart and they asked me if I wanted it because they were like, yeah, I'm sure you could do something with it. So I gladly accepted it, and I'm going to use it on the floor as a base for my compost bins so that hopefully we don't get mice or rats burrowing up underneath into the compost bins. In all honesty, I think that mice would probably still get through, but I do notice that we do have sort of burrowing holes inside the compost bin, and they are quite large. So I think those are coming from rats most likely, and so this will definitely keep them out. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure if it's going to work. I may change it back. sure how I feel about this. The idea is that all of the fresh grass and weeds and kitchen scraps, the chicken manure, everything would go in to this one first, and then we'd move on to that one once we turn the compost. Once that one's full, it gets transferred. So start from that one, and start from this one first. That one's going to start from this one. That's going to go down, and then we'll transfer it on to that one. And this is what was in the first compost bin, and it's all sort of broken down to that. This is what's in the second compost bin. You can see all the different layers. So you've got the kitchen scraps at the top, we've got like grass and leaves, got a bunch of soil there. Whatever was there is already kind of broken down quite a bit. There's a layer of sort of potash, and then another layer of soil at the bottom. That's very cool. But now I need to do the disgusting job of transferring it all into the compost bins. I mean, it's good because it'll mean that it gives it a bit of a turn, but yeah. And the thing is, this has reduced down to about half of the size that it was. So when I put everything into the compost bin, it was completely filled to the top, and it's kind of broken down, and it's about half now. So it reduces down very, very well. If you just leave it to do its thing, it'll take care of itself mostly. And what I then tend to do is, once it's reduced down quite a lot, I use a separate tool, which is around somewhere, to sort of just give it a bit of a turning whilst it's in the compost bin, so I don't need to do a huge job. And then that sort of helps to aerate it and speed up the process a little bit more. It's looking absolutely wonderful. And now there's this. And then I just have some more to do here. So I need to tidy this section up here. I don't know what's gone on down there, but I'll sort it out. I just need to sort out everything that's in this bucket here. It's just a whole load of, trays, that sort of thing. And then hopefully tomorrow, if it doesn't rain, I will start filling the compost bins with the compost that's been left behind over there. We still have quite a few tomatoes that are ripening up. That one's split a little bit. So I'm still picking all of these so that the rest of them can, of course, take all of the energy. This is on the other side of my greenhouse. So you can see how these ones are pretty much finished now. That one's still going a little bit. I'll pick that one as well. That's good to be picked. Some of them are split. Yeah, this is a job that also needs doing as well. And my sunflower heads, that one, I mean, it's getting all mold on it, but something's been in the greenhouse and pulling out all of the seeds and eating them. I can only assume that it must be a mouse, perhaps, but I don't know. It hasn't eaten any of the tomatoes, but it's been at the sunflower. That's gross. I feel like this compost hasn't broken down as much as I thought it had. There's still a lot of matter inside that is still not broken down. So I'm just using this tool to aerate it slightly, just to get that air and oxygen into it so it can break down quicker. You can see there's a hole where I presume is probably a rat, gross, has burrowed in. So I'll be filling that in. Obviously this is the end of my garden. This is the complete end of my garden. So obviously come in either from that side or that side. I decided to let some of the girls out to help me sort out the compost. It's quite difficult to break it all up, and I know that their claws, their little talons, will do a really great job of doing that. Oh no, don't eat those. Don't eat that. You can't eat that. Those will come up in the spring, okay? I have to say, having the girls scratch away at the compost really helped to break it down a lot. But anyway, that's all I've got time for in this video. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Oh, and I just want to quickly show you what I did with the crate that I moved from here, because there was a crate here and I moved it to fit this bin here. I've moved it into my little shed, my little storage shed, and I turned it upside down and made a little seat out of it. I put 2 small pallets that I had on the side, and then I also had some solar lights that I won on like an Instagram giveaway, and I've put the solar thing on top of the roof and just put the lights up on the inside. Yeah, I don't know, just a little just a little thing.